It is time now for Media Watch, and I'm joined by Emma James. Hello, Emma. Now, you've been looking to the web for reaction to the news that 700 children haven't been reunited with their parents. This is, of course, following the big drama and the big scandal involving the separation of children from their parents on the US-Mexico border.
Yes, this was a court-imposed deadline. It ran out yesterday, and what we've learned is that more than 700 children still haven't been put back with their families, which was what the court had ordered. They were separated on the US-Mexico border, part of a Trump administration decision to crack down on illegal immigration. Now, the government says that those 711 children haven't been reunified because they're not eligible for it. It means that basically either the parents are unavailable, they can't contact them, or in the case of many hundreds, they've actually already been deported from the US. In other cases, they have actually waived their parental rights, and there are a lot of questions being asked about exactly what that means, because BuzzFeed News has reported that many of these separated parents were tricked into signing something which actually made them waive their parental rights, and more than 200 are known to have done that. It's not certain how many of those actually knew what they were actually agreeing to at the time. Now, a video posted by the Senate Democrats today on Twitter and on YouTube actually gives a voice to some of those parents being held at a centre in Texas right now. And it is well worth a look at. Regardless of your politics, really, it is very moving. Take a look at the clip.
We came to this country to save our lives and the lives of our children.
We were not prepared for the nightmare we faced here.
The United States government kidnapped our children with tricks.
And didn't give us the opportunity to say goodbye.
Please help us.
Please help us.
Families belong together.
A lot of very strong reactions to this, understandably. One Twitter user saying, "This makes me feel sick in the stomach." The hashtag "Where are the children" is being very widely used as well. This gentleman tweeting that what's an acceptable number of children who've been orphaned temporarily or permanently by our government? 0. We should be ashamed of ourselves for letting this happen and for letting it continue. But really, this story of 711 is just a part of it. You notice that the hashtags this person is using include "Where are the babies?" because the number 711 only includes those children aged between 5 and 17. Those under 5 aren't being included. There was a previous earlier deadline for them. 102 were taken away from their parents. 57 we know are back with their families, but we don't know what has happened to the rest of them.
Okay, so a story we certainly haven't heard the end of, and a very moving one at that. Now, on a different note, there have been various warnings, haven't there, about how much we rely on social media and perhaps whether or not it's good for us. What's the current wisdom, Emma?
Well, it's a bit tricky for me because it's not really applicable for me to be able to give up social media. But we've had dry January for drinkers who've had a little too much over the Christmas period. We've got Stoptober for smokers in October. Now there are calls for there to be a scroll-free September. It's a UK initiative which has been created by the Royal Society for Public Health. And they say it's an opportunity for us to take back control in terms of our social media usage. Basically, we all do it far more than we should. And even though many of us are aware of it, most people believe they would be more productive without social media, for example. Many also believe that it would be better for their mental health, for their body image, and also their relationships and their sleeping patterns too. In this article, they quote a mental health expert saying that social media, like fire, can be a great servant but a deadly master. So this campaign aims basically to either get you to give it up completely or just reduce your usage, be a bit more aware of what you're doing. It's aimed primarily at children. That's why it's September, the first month back at school. And they want to create a good relationship, one of balance, they say. 7 out of 10 young people say they've been cyberbullied on social media. 1 in 5 say they wake up in the middle of the night to check their messages. Now, they give you lots of options what you can do when you go to their website. You can go cold turkey, give it up completely for 30 days. Or you can be a social butterfly, they say, where you actually enjoy the event that you've gone to instead of running around taking photographs and tweeting about it and telling all those people who couldn't make it to that particular event. And it's about enjoying the moment rather than tweeting about it as social media has taken over. Some people not very impressed at all. What on earth is this? You hear this craziness, asks this Twitter user. Well, another one has said, it's a no from me, using a photograph of Simon Cowell, who interestingly doesn't ever use social media. So it's perhaps a bad example to use. Lots of people, though, say that they will be signing up to this in some form or other. This one saying she's going to go social media free when she's not at work, basically ensuring that her nights are her own. And this person pointing out that you can get apps and software now that tells you exactly how much you are using your smartphone. He says he's picked up his phone 97 times already today. I dread to think what my figures would be, but it is something that perhaps we should all be thinking a bit more about.
Okay, well, you've definitely given me something not to think about during my summer holidays. Thank you very much indeed, Emma James, with today's edition of Media Watch. Thank you again.